Wow. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Hey, you got your audio. We had a little bit of problem with Roman a second ago, but he got it fixed quickly.
I
He
pretend
made
to
us
hear
so
you
busy
guys.
doing it, but he did it. Hi, Regan. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, Steve. How are you?
All right. Well, we got a heck of a show today. Just like our description said, from farm to table, can a guardian breed become a pet if he fails on the farm? Okay. And vice versa. Okay. And kind of hand in hand with this is are guardian breeds born to be farm workers? Do you just put them out there? Okay. So, wow, what a show. I'll tell you what we're going to do today. And some of you people some of you folks that's watched it in the past, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to do our giveaway tonight. Hey. All right.
What are we
If
giving
you type
away,
in
Steve?
hashtag GPRM into the comments, and that will enter you into the giveaway drawing at the end of the show. Okay. And now those folks that are viewing from one of the two groups, there's a link in the description that gives permission to StreamYard for your comments for you to be seen when you give your comment. All right. So if we can't see who you are, now you can see who you are, but if you didn't give permission, we've got two comments up here that you need to give permissions, because you won't get entered into the drawing like that, because the drawing won't know who you are. Okay. So just click the link in the description of the show and say yes, and we'll know who's commenting. So happy Saturday to you too. So, all right, we got a big show here. Now we have Regan here, and that's for a reason. Regan has some news. Now, some of it's good and some of it's not so good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to do first? Because I have a video up here if you want to do Quinn.
Yeah. We had a.
Roman hasn't seen this one. You better get your tissues ready, Roman.
Yeah. I forgot to bring mine. I might need them. We had a rough week in rescue. We rescued a litter of 8 puppies before Thanksgiving, and they were 11 weeks old, and 2 of them came down with parvo, and 1 survived and 1 didn't.
So I'm gonna, on that cue, the one that didn't survive, we made a little tribute to her. Okay, this is Quinn. We don't like doing those videos, especially like this, because if the mother dog was vaccinated, there's a possibility that she could have transferred the parvo vaccine into the puppies, because we see that. And Quinn may have never have, or had she contracted parvo, she could have fought it better. Okay.
Yes.
Immune stuff comes from the mom, but also if mom has worms, that also comes to the puppies, and that's not unusual. So, wow. And I got to say a shout out here to some of our folks here. Hi, Nancy. Ashley, you found us again. Ashley's in Utah. She works with the Great Pyrenees Rescue of Montana. All right. They have a lot of dogs too. But Ashley is absolutely correct. Parvo sucks, and in this particular case, it was preventable. You know, half a tank of gas we put in there for the cost, half the cost of a tank of gas. The mother could have been vaccinated. Okay, so
And
think about that.
even
Anyway,
less these days.
yeah. Okay, all right. So, but the good news is another one had contracted it, and she survived.
She did.
All right. Do you have anything else?
She's our fighter. She's our survivor.
And we're gonna make a video for that one too, okay? Because
she
deserves a tribute.
She does. She was rushed to the emergency vet on Sunday, and they didn't know if she would make it through the night, really. She was a very high positive, and the vet was not very hopeful. So she was picked up in the morning because they closed at 8 a.m. and her foster took her to a private vet where she's in today. And they don't do after hours care. So the foster picked her up in the evening, and she did that all week. And Yita just kept getting better.
That's right. Wow. Okay. By the way, I got snow in my forecast. Okay. Oh crap, it's here already. Your jacket's on. I like playing sometimes. We're festive tonight. We have our holiday background up, and are we ready to roll into our next one?
Well, I just want to thank our fosters again for all the love and dedication and care.
We would also like to thank our donors.
Yes.
You guys, all of our donors make all of this possible. Okay. And our fosters make it happen. Right. That's my slogan. Donors make it possible, fosters make it happen. So we need both. So, yes, and you know, Parvo, man, you know how much money was spent on Quinn trying to treat this and save her? There were 2 vets involved, and you don't want to know. And it drains a rescue. And in this case, it didn't have to be done. It was preventable. So anyway, thank you, everybody. And by the way, the giveaway drawing, we will give Martingale collar away this week. Okay. And anybody knows Martingale, anybody has, say, for example, an Akbash, you'll really appreciate that. And all of you peer owners, if you ever want to walk with your Pyrenees and he hits the brakes and then puts it in reverse, everybody's been there. You'll appreciate that collar. If it's adjusted properly, they can't back out of it. That is the purpose of the Martingale. It does not train your dog. You train your dog. So anyway, hashtag GPRM. It enters you into the drawing. So that being said, does some of you will probably remember this boy. All right. If you guys remember, we had an illness in their family, and she had to surrender her beloved Beau. Okay, this is Beau, and she wasn't sure if he got along with cats, but we did confirm that he does. Okay, and so we're going to bring him up. Now, we had to do a pre-record because Beau's mom and dad. But his mom is a frontline worker. She's an emergency room nurse, okay, out in Maryland. And so we're going to bring up Beau, and we have a short segment here. I think it went right at 10 minutes, which is the biggest we want to do. And Maureen's up here. Roman, you remember Maureen? And she's in Wisconsin, and Ashley's up in Utah. So Nancy's in Colorado. Hi, everybody. And we're going to do our pre-recorded segment of Beau. Okay. So here we go. Okay. Now we're going to, we have something exciting, and you guys remember Beau, right? Surely you remember this boy. Okay. He was the one that, well, his mom figured that there was a picture that she had sent us, and I don't see it right here, but I'll bring it up later, or when we're live, that it was really, really cute because there was a cat laying with him, okay? Right there.
Yes.
And they said that she wasn't sure, but she thinks he gets along with cats, and so the foster had a cat, and they were best buds. But anyway, let's without any more ado here, let's this is a happy adoption story, and we have to pre-record it because of Amanda's work schedule. She's an emergency room nurse, so
Yes, she is.
and we're going to thank her for her service, and she's a frontline worker. All right?
Yes.
And a heck of an adopter.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Looky there. Hi, Beau.
Beau.
Hi, Beau.
Hey guys. Oh,
Hi,
there's
Amanda.
husband
Hi, Maddie.
Hi, Maddie.
and Casey.
Hi.
And Casey, the Akbash. Now that boy I knew personally. And I'll tell you, he's got it made. I am so happy he's in that home.
He's a beautiful boy.
And I don't want to bring up any bad memories or anything, but how she came across Beau is Casey had a brother, and they lost him at a young age with cancer. All right, and no one was prepared for that. And Casey's just a good-looking boy now. You guys remember? Was it last week or week before? Remember Honeybee? She's an Akbash mix, and Casey's pure Akbash. All right. So, anyway, Amanda, how's he doing with this happy? Is this a happy adoption story?
Oh, absolutely. So Casey, as you can see, is more relaxed now, and just I have not seen Casey this happy ever, and we've had him about 2 years. But Beau is just an amazing comfort for him. Casey's an older dog. He's 10 or 11, and he's retired. He was a working dog. So he needed some companionship. And Beau has just done wonders providing that for him. Like, he doesn't do too much. He doesn't, jump on him, but he spends time with them, and he lays with him and sniffs him, and they share their food, and there's absolutely no arguments between these two. It's amazing. And they walk together because they're working, patrolling the neighborhood together every day.
And at Casey's age, he never misses his walks, right?
No, we take him on 2 walks a day. He's got some pretty bad arthritis, but those walks are good for him. They help keep those muscles strong, and he'd be pretty mad at me if I didn't give him the opportunity to make sure everyone in the neighborhood's safe. So,
and I don't know about you, but I'm not the one that would want to have an Akbash mad at me either, or a Pyrenees.
No.
So there's quite the age difference here, and in case he's a senior, and well, Beau's not.
Nope.
Okay, technically he's kind of still a puppy.
He's a puppy.
So how are they getting along in that respect?
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, Beau will try to instigate play with Casey and then read the signals and say, okay, I'll go play with my slipper, or I'll go play with my ball, or I'll chase Maddie around. But Casey, while interested, he can't really keep up physically. So we've decided to bring in a sister for both of them that's around the same age as Beau, and they can play together, and Casey can monitor them and, supervise.
And where are you getting a sister at?
Well, the Great Pyrenees Rescue of Missouri is sending us another wonderful family edition, and we're getting her on Sunday. So my parents will be picking her up, and they picked up Casey. They're very good grandparents to our pups. and we'll be introducing her to these guys. We're all
Does she
going to
have a
start with a
name?
walk.
Does she have a name?
Oh, her name's Lizzy.
You're getting Lizzy.
I'm
That's
getting
what I'm trying
Lizzy.
to tell everybody. Lizzy is being adopted. All right.
Yes.
This is awesome.
Yes.
And because Casey just can't keep up with Beau. Beau's very young,
Mhm.
and he gets along with everybody. He's never met a strange dog or a strange person, right?
No. And I mean, Casey's much the same way. Great with children. I've seen both of these guys with babies, and they are just the gentlest. And their favorite people in our neighborhood are two elderly ladies that live alone. They have to stop when we go on walks and say hi and make sure they're okay.
All right.
I love that.
We want to make sure that Beau's former mom is notified that, well, Beau's going to be on tomorrow. And,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we'll
I've
let
gotta
her. I'm
thank
sure
her.
Linda will let her know, and I don't know if you keep in touch with her, but I'm sure Linda will let her know so she can see Beau again.
Yes, I will.
When Beau was surrendered, that was a hard one. Okay,
Mhm.
and because anytime it's surrendered over medical, that's never easy. Okay.
Yes.
So, and I'm just glad I wasn't Beau's foster, because she took him right over to Beau's foster. So anyway,
Yeah, we would have been a failed
wow.
foster.
Mhm.
Now I hear he's got a hobby.
Oh, yeah. So Beau recently became a blood donor at the Blue Ridge Blood Bank in Virginia.
Yay.
Yeah. So he's a hero.
And he's
He
paying it
is.
forward.
Yes, he is paying it forward, because we had an Alaskan Malamute that had to have a pacemaker surgery, and I'm pretty sure that he had to get some blood during his procedure. So Beau is going to step up for his brother, and start donating himself. So his first actual donation is December 21st. He passed all the screens, and he will get a lot of peanut butter and a lot of hugs for his
Oh.
service.
Now I heard rumors he loves peanut butter.
Yes, he does. And there's an ice cream shop on the way back from the vet. So anytime we take Beau to the vet, he gets a pup cone on the way home, and then Casey gets the rest of it. So
Our dog is a hero.
yes.
He is a hero. He's donating his blood to save another dog.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
What better way can your dog help than that? Look around your neighborhood, look into the program,
Mhm.
and we will post a link to Beau's so you can get an idea what it's about. And I'll because Amanda sent it to me,
Mhm.
and when we do the live show, we'll make sure we get it posted. So
Great.
if that's what he even got a name tag out of it, didn't he?
Yep. And
No.
he's typed and screened already. And also, if Beau ever needs blood, he gets a free unit on the blood bank.
There you
But
go.
you're not going to need that, are you?
No.
You're given, not
When
taken.
when you have an unexpected traumatic surgery, just like a
Yeah.
human,
Yeah.
you need blood. And I never even thought of this. Okay. And by the way, thank you for everything you do on the front lines, Amanda.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for the gratitude.
Yep.
We all need it right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a hero in my eyes too. I'm sure
Yeah.
even on the human side, Amanda, I mean, is there ever a blood shortage? I'm sure there would have to be.
Oh yeah, there has been since the start of the pandemic.
Sure. Mhm.
Yep. We've had a lot of issue with that. In the ER, we always get like first pick, because if traumas come in, you might need 20 units of blood before you're done. So
Yeah.
it just depends on if people are willing to donate, and if it's typed and screened correctly, and if we have it in stock. So we've had
Screen
tough
and
times.
donate. Screen and donate.
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
right. So the human can donate and your dog can donate.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, being an ER nurse, I couldn't think of a better way to come home and relax than to those two, and obviously Maddie. All right.
Mhm.
Sorry, Maddie. I didn't want to leave you out. Bye.
Yeah,
So
no, I mean, these dogs are healers. You
yes,
know?
they are. Now, I
Pyrenees
do
and
have
the
a
knockbucks,
question.
but they're healers.
Now, when you were talking to Linda about you were wanting a dog for Casey, now you did mention you wanted a cuddle bug, and did you get one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Beau, are you a cuddle bug? Do you love love? Yep. He will just
So,
climb on you and stay there. And now that he's about 15 pounds heavier, it's been something. But
good.
yeah, it's like a living teddy bear. I can't even. He's amazing.
And there you have it, GPRescue.com. You can order the type of dog you want, it looks like.
Yeah.
And if we have it, Linda will make sure you can get it. GPRescue.com. You're not going to get one if you don't apply.
You have to qualify too. So
You
you
have to
just can't
qualify.
apply and get one. You got to qualify.
And if you don't qualify, don't take it personal. 'Cause
Yes.
it's nothing against you. All right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you have some little stuff that has to be done, we'll recommend what has to be done and maybe even give you an idea on how we do it inexpensive and quickly. So
I always say the easiest way to get through me is through email, through your filling out the application. Sending me text messages and inquiries are not going to do it. Fill out your application and I review each and every one of them.
and phone calls, hard to get through to her. A matter of
Yes.
fact, the last time I called her, she answered. I wasn't ready for it. I didn't know what to say. She's very, very busy, and look at Maddie and Beau. Beau,
I
they're
know.
just a perfect match, aren't they?
Uh-huh.
Is he a daddy's boy?
No. Yeah, he loves us both pretty equally.
Well, he loves your slippers. We know that.
Oh yeah. There's one right up there. Yep. We had that one this morning.
I'll tell you what, I bet you Lizzy, being a female Pyrenees, gravitates towards Maddie. I'm just talk to me in a couple weeks. Tell me where Lizzy is. I bet you she's with Maddie.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mhm.
Now you're getting her this. You're getting her. Well, this will be airing Saturday, so you're getting her tomorrow, Sunday. Is that about right?
Yeah, I'm getting her yep.
Wow. Cool. All right, guys. All right. I know you're tired. You worked all night, and thank you for coming on to do this. Linda won't be able to make the live show, but that's why we wanted to make sure we tried. She didn't want to miss this one. Okay. So, all right, guys.
Thank you
Thank
guys
you
for
so
being
much for
my
coming on
adopters.
and get some sleep. And thank you for adopting, well, pretty much all your dogs.
Well, thank you for sending them to us. We love them very much, and I
Yeah.
guess you're stuck with us.
That's okay.
Okay, well, I guess we can live with that. I've
we can
sent
live
you
with
2
that.
dogs myself. Now Linda's catching up, and pretty soon she's going to pass me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're part of it, so
Well, yeah, we're all part of it here.
Yep.
It takes a village. It's not just one person. So
We're one family.
that's right. So, all righty, everybody, GPRescue.com. Here's our happy adoption story of hopefully the month. We're going to try to do one of these every month. Okay. And sometimes adopters don't like to share, but just usually with this rescue, they'll be happy to come on and talk. So, all right, guys. All right.
Bye.
You
Thank
guys
you.
enjoy
Have a
this
good one.
rest
Thank you.
and thank you for what you do. And Maddie, everybody, thank you. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Wow. That was great to see both of them again, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's
That was awesome.
it's
all
always
right.
good to catch up with the adopters, and
Yes, it
they
is.
are 2 of the best.
And when we was on there, I wrote this little thing on my little side program, and I forgot to put it up there. I'm gonna make myself bigger so everybody can see it. Very happy ending for Beau, and we're gonna ask him back to when after Lizzy gets settled in. We don't want to just rush her on the camera, but
Yeah,
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
ask
give
him
her
to
some
come back
time.
on and for a progress report on how they're doing, good or bad.
Mhm.
Because we do bloopers here, so we do
Yes.
them every Saturday when I say, "Hey, everybody, here we are." All right, okay,
All right.
so we're going to end this, and well, like I said, this is pre-recorded because of their schedule, and I'm really grateful that they came on. And
Yep. Have a good
and
rest of
both
your
teams-
show, Steve.
What's that?
have a good rest of the show. I won't be there
well,
live, but
thank
I'll be
you.
watching.
I love this. I like this pre-recorded. So, all righty.
All right.
All right. We're going to go ahead and end this one. Will somebody tell me to shut up every once in a while?
Steve, we try, but you don't listen.
Okay. That was Beau. and then Lizzy's going to be there. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lizzy is on her way. She'll be there tomorrow.
Yep. All right.
And we want to thank our wonderful volunteers for transporting her all the way out there.
That's right. So thank you, everybody. Everybody that does it. We thank Roman. Roman does a lot here that people don't even know about. So, okay. And speaking of Roman, I have a question. Oh, by the way, let's go back to this. For those of you that haven't been in here yet, if you put hashtag GPRM into the comments, you have an opportunity to win a martingale collar. We got black for the males and, well, kind of pink for the females. Okay. So hashtag GPRM.
But we're not sexist. Blue and pink.
No.
Okay.
I don't have any blue. They're black. Anyway, so I guess we have a question that Roman's going to help us answer. All right. About the guardian breeds. All right. And Roman had sent me a comment when we were talking about this because he remembers seeing a picture of a Pyrenees standing on somebody's kitchen table.
Mm-hmm.
And looking out the window. And I've seen a few of those myself. So from farm to table, is that even possible, Roman?
I like the title because it really represents a farm dog ends up on a table. There's a misconception, and we want to kind of play it out, that just because a dog fails in a house doesn't mean the dog is fit to go in a farm. And on the other hand, just because the dog fails in a farm doesn't mean the dog is fit to end up in a house. It is a misconception that a dog is born as a farm dog. He's being born in a farm makes him kind of like a farm-born dog, but it does make him a professional farm dog. It comes in with education. And that education can last up to 2 years. And the way the dogs learn from puppies, they learn from imitating others' emotions. Since they don't come up with their emotions first, they want to see how does that look like that they're going through and how do they feel about it. And so I adopt that emotion because I see somebody else going through the same process. And so if a dog grows up in a farm with goats and sheep and chickens and hens and all these farm animals, their emotions do not match human emotions, which means if a dog learns how animals feel like, which is very pure emotions, and that dog ends up in a house, he has no clue what's happening there. He doesn't clue if I tell him, "What did you do there, little bugger?" if that is offensive or kind of rewarding. And so there are miscommunications and confusion there. On the other hand, a dog who is in a house, in a regular home, and he lives with people and doesn't have other social skills, and that's why he's actually misbehaving outdoors because he attacks other dogs and other pets in the house, bringing him to the farm will not change the fact that this dog has no social skills. And he will treat the sheep and goats and bunnies, whatever he treated the other dogs and cats in the household, because the dog lacks of more than ethical skills. So we see that no matter how we move it around, we cannot assume because the dog fails on one side, he will be just fine on the other side. Just because he's a guardian dog doesn't mean he's a farm dog. And just because he's a failed farm dog doesn't mean he's a perfect house dog. Both sides need education and experience. And both sides, the dog has to go through their needs to be met first. So if a farm dog's needs are not met, the dog will fail. If a house dog needs are not met, he will fail. And house needs, I mean, let's be very clear, could be, for example, safe house, a safe environment. And most people don't even have a safe environment for the dog. They say they have a safe environment, but in fact, there is not. The dog's biological needs are not met yet. For example, proper nutrition. And I know many people want to give the best food for the dogs, but that sometimes is not the reality because we feed wrong. We don't understand really what food is, and other people and companies take advantage of it. We need fresh water, basic fresh water. Just because the water is full doesn't mean it's fresh. And then we have clean air. Many animals, dogs live in environments that are not clean, and I wouldn't stay there for an hour. And some rescues, thank God, your guys are not that kind of rescue. I've been in rescues, you couldn't walk into the area where dogs are, you couldn't even breathe, right? There was no oxygen left. Then regulated temperature control. And I know many people says, well, Pyrenees are just fine. He can now hang out outdoors like it's fine. There's a confusion because just because the dog wants to be outside because he has a guarding job doesn't mean he can survive deep temperatures. You feel comfortable? Well, he's not comfortable, but he can deal with it. I mean, I'm cold walking my dogs without a jacket, but I would never have a jacket. Okay? And I see very often Pyrenees are not huskies. Okay? They can handle a lot of cold, but they need somewhere to retreat. In a cold deck, the dog is not safe. With the dog buried in snow, he is safe. You see the difference? Another thing that we have is at least grooming and veterinary care. Many dogs don't even have that. And so either way where the dog is, these have to be the basic needs at least completed, right? And then we have emotional needs. And I know dogs are born for farms, most people say, but the reality is because I grew up with herding dogs and guardian breeds in Greece, these dogs have a special relationship with one person, the herd, right? The sheep herd. He is the person, the go-to. And from there, the dog takes the information, what he's supposed to do on the job, not micromanaging, but just, information. Okay, come back, stay here. Let's go to the left, go to the right. There's communication between human and a dog. So the social skills between human and dogs are imprinted in the dog. We cannot just disconnect them because we want a farm dog, so we're not interacting emotionally with that dog. He will be feral if he ends up with people. And he will fail in the farm because obviously he will not follow instructions. And B, whoever ends up in that space, the person is not safe. And if you go into the Pyrenees Alps, you're going to see all these tablets out there that tells Pyrenees at work. Doesn't mean these dogs are dangerous to people. Meaning is don't go in, don't intervene, don't have your dogs loose. There are all these complicated things that have come with that. But those dogs are still human social. They meet people, they don't attack people. They're trained and encouraged to take care of the sheep based on predators. But if you behave like a predator, you will be on the target list. Now, the other thing that we need on emotional needs is the safety, love, trust, and consistency. Right? You have to be consistent. Just because the dog does fine in 1 month, you don't just let it fade out. And this is 90% the reason why dogs fail. We're good. We're doing the training. We follow everything through. He's obedient, everything. And then because we feel that, then we just give up and then let the dog be. How would that work with your relationship? After get married, then let everything go. It will not work for long. And so dogs, of course, you don't get married to dogs, but it is the same secure attachment relationship. Now, the other thing that we need is to understand the dog's social needs. It doesn't matter if the dog is a professional farm dog or he is a professional house dog, right? He has social needs. He needs to interact with other dogs. There are very few farms that have only one dog. But if they have only one dog, then they have human interaction. And if the dog has multiple dogs, then he needs less and less human interactions because he gets his social cues from his elder friends or guardians in that herd. And guardians, I mean, either the elder dog who was there before him or before her, or people actually taking care of the dog and give them this social education. Then, of course, we have the training needs that need to be met. So if a dog doesn't have training skills, and I'm not talking about obedience, okay? Obedience is necessary, but I prefer to use the term compliance is kind of at the edge, but conformity. The dog should know that if you ask him to do something, it is appreciated for him to follow through with it. But he still have the free will to make a choice whether or not to follow through. If you come in with obedience, it comes in with a mindset that if you don't do what I'm telling you to do, then you will have consequences. Now, what would these consequences be? Right? And so dogs are not slaves. So you cannot tell them what to do and they have to follow through no matter what. They're still individual beings. And if you look at the long history of guardian breeds, they're self-sufficient. They can do things on their own. They don't need micromanagement. So if you teach them what to do with a nice way, force-free, without shaker cans, without hanging dog, cats, and chickens on their neck so they don't kill them, education, I mean social education and emotional education and cognitive education, then that dog will be such a smart dog, he will reach his potential. Now, no matter what you do with that dog, taking away from the farm, bring him in the house, he will understand how to adjust himself in that environment, because that's a specialty of a Pyrenees. He's not changing easily, but if he changes, he sticks to it. Okay? If winter, the dog has to do different things, he has to be different aware of. In a different environment, he has to adjust to his environment. So Pyrenees are not dogs like plants. If you move them, they will go bad. Okay? Pyrenees works different in the winter, different in the spring, different in the autumn, and different in summer. And so he has specific adjustment skills. But if you don't teach them how to adjust, then you're going to end up with a dog who's stubborn, inconsistent, you cannot trust him, he's going to end up in trouble all the time, and then you have to micromanaging. It's like hiring a guy who doesn't know his job and he wants to pay more than you want. So, right.
Or you've got a Pyrenees that runs your house. And
Right.
they don't do it well because we say they don't do it well. They do a great
because
job.
He ends up on a table, from farm to table.
That's right. That's where that was going. So, so what you're saying, Roman, is that, well, we know that we do different things with a dog intended to go out and work than what we want to do with a dog that's intended that doesn't work out that way. Okay. When he goes, just because you want him to work doesn't mean he's capable of doing it. I'm not asking Roman to come do surgery on me because Roman says I can't do it. Wait a minute. You're there. You're a human. Humans do it. Well, that's kind of a vague resemblance, but just that Roman would have to be taught how to do it. All right. And like I said, that's kind of reaching for straws a little bit, but sometimes that's what it takes to some people to understand that part. Just because it's in their breed doesn't mean they know the way it needs to be done.
Right.
Okay?
So let me explain to you something. If we look at breed traits, and I'm not going deep into that, if you look at the breed traits, see breed traits like a sliding scale. So people say Pyrenees are stubborn. Yeah, that's the sliding scale all the way to the red. Yeah, book. Yeah, I'm kind of midst in it. It's a lot of to write stuff, and I'm not good in writing, so my wife helps me. So yes, the book is incoming. Very interesting. I would say it's kind of like paradigm shifting in the way we handle dogs. It's up to
if you need a proofreader, I'll be happy to proofread.
It's up to date with science, and beyond that, it's not old school, and we tapped many things, including spirituality and emotional intelligence and training. All these things are in there. Anyway, going back to the breed traits, so see sliding scale and see stubborn dog, which is sliding scale on the red. But the dog's breed trait is persistence. That is the breed trait. So if you don't do anything with that, it's going to be stubborn. But if you do something with that, then the dog will persist doing the job that you gave him and will not let go until the job is done. But if you don't have a secure attachment relation with your dog, then he will do whatever things is right, and he will not stop doing that no matter how you yell and scream at your dog. So if your dog is doing a job outside and you call your dog back, he tell you, I don't care what you're saying. I have fun out here. I'm not coming back. And then we get frustrated and angry, which ruins our relationship, and it becomes a vicious circle.
Okay, so does this mean persistence instead of stubbornness? Wow. So when your dog is out in the backyard He's just laying around, looking around, and you say, "Come in here." And he maybe looks at you and laying around, looking around. You say, "Darn it, get in here. Come on, let's go." And does that mean he's at work and he's not going to come because he's still on the clock?
Well, that's the slippery slope, that question. I'm not tapping into that trap. I know where you're going with this. We can
Okay,
actually,
sorry.
we can actually poison our cues. So if I call my dog in the house every time I confine my dog because I have to go, or every time I bring him back in the house, he has to go in his room or in his crate, then that dog, every time you call him or he feels you have the need for something, then he's like, yeah, I know what's going to happen. You call me and then you know what's going to happen. I'm not coming.
You've associated it with something
Right.
he doesn't
Well, you mean,
want.
well, come inside because, you know, the rain is coming, and he thinks like, yeah, you're up to something. I trust you. And you cannot fool a Pyrenees. Pyrenees are highly intelligent, intuitive, intelligent dogs. I would call it, in that Goldman will praise it, they're emotionally intelligent. Not many people are emotionally intelligent. They actually, you study that in school if you work in a company, right? So emotional intelligence means I know how you feel. I can tap into it. So, you know what? Nah, I'm not doing that.
No. That is correct. And Ashley had a typo. Yes, she does know how to spell Pyrenees. That was a typo. Okay, she's on her phone. Give her a break. All right. So, but she's right. You're not going to fool the Pyrenees, especially a dog that is more intelligent than us in their way. Okay.
And then another breed trait we have is distractibility. Well, in the Pyrenees, distractibility is all the way to the green, like on the other side, like very little distractible when he's on the job. But at the same time, he gets his attention. So while he's on the job paying attention and be stubborn about doing it, then if something changes his environment, he's being triggered. He's being bred to be triggered in anything changes in his mind. So in other words, if you see my screen, my background in the background, and you see that picture here, that one, if that picture is like this, and the Pyrenees will come in, he's going to see that. It's like, wait a minute. Oh, okay, that changed. He's not going to do anything about it, but he's aware of it. So if you wonder why your Pyrenees is barking and go nuts at night, it's because he was bred to be sensitive on anything new and unexplainable, to go nuts until this thing go away. But another breed trait is you don't give up and you don't forget about it until long time past that event. Because just because the wolf disappeared and hiding behind the rock doesn't mean he's not there. And it can last up to 72 hours.
Yep.
Okay, so if somebody intrudes your house or the mailman drops a box off and they come next day again and again, it becomes a pattern. It says, you know what, these guys suck. They come, do things in our yard and go away. I'm going to have them on, I'll take care of them.
I want to touch on something you just said. They remember it for like 3 days, 72 hours. Now let's discuss that just briefly. If you have two dogs that just got in a fight and you get them apart, say it was just, no contact, an argument, and you separate them, you give them a half hour or so, and you come back and wait a minute, I thought I separated you guys. He just said up to 72 hours. Remember that.
I give you an example because dogs are not much different than people. Okay, here, buddy. So your neighbor takes his poop bags, he had like 20 of those, and dumps them in your garbage bin. And you open that garbage bin in the morning, have your coffee mug in them because you're going to the car, and you open that, oh, Jesus, and you saw him doing that. How long will you remember that behavior? Yeah, another week or 2 or 3. You wait for this guy to show up with another poop bag, and then you got him right there with your coffee mug. Now, 24 hours, 32 hours, 72 hours, until the job is done, the dog will remember it. And how many times have you stopped speeding after you got a ticket? a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? So trauma-related behaviors, like things that happen that are dangerous and my life was threatened, for example, being exposed to a predator, that will last a long time to be forgotten. Maybe it will never be forgotten. It'll always being in the back head of the mind. Elephants. Yeah, elephants with tails and white coats and slobber and all these things.
Yes. And you always got to, he's right, till the job is done. You know, your dog could be laying on the floor, you're watching television, and next thing you know, your dog's grumbling. Wait a minute, what's going on? I don't even own another dog.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at what he's looking at.
And another thing that we see very often, especially like the last couple of weeks and months that I observe, is where Pyrenees get in fight with other dogs. We don't understand that Pyrenees have a high sense of justice. Okay, like bulldogs. You remember why the bulldogs are the mascot of the police officers in England? Because there's high sense of justice. So if that dog sees something wrong, he's pissed. And he wants to fix that. He wants to make that right. Now, based on the dog's family code of conduct, what is right and what is wrong is if another dog falls through the cracks because he gets away with murder, doing all these yappy things and taking your attention and jumping on you and being disrespectful to his guardian, and he sees that you don't see that, obviously you're not paying attention because he's a chihuahua, you know, it's like a little greyhound, look at what's the problem here, like a little dachshund, all these good things. And then all of a sudden they get in a fight, and then we blame the Pyrenees for taking care of it, what we didn't see and didn't address. And then whose fault is it? Whose fault is it to see the injustice? Or is it the one who actually did something about it? It's his fault. Do I say that always the Pyrenees is not at fault? Sometimes they are, but usually they're not. So if a little bugger barks his butt off at the door and he's nuts, literally, so you observe it as a psychologist, you say, this dog is not right. He has an issue. And you're not doing anything about it, and the Pyrenees gets frustrated with this barking that's excessive for no real reason. It's kind of like ringing the alarm all the time for no reason. He's going to take that dog down. That's his job. Yeah. And we don't see it coming until it's too late.
And he's absolutely right. And, you know, that's absolutely right. Once again, a very intelligent breed. Okay. So then, okay, well, does that mean they can come off the farm and come into the house?
No, not as easy. It has to be a transition time. The dog needs to learn what he was missing, right? In each direction he will go. So if he becomes a farm dog, I would say that farm dog or the house dog that becomes a farm dog, I don't know how he's going to make it. Be a professional. He's in the farm having a lot of property, but he needs to be integrated in the social environment he's in there, which means he will get in trouble with the other dogs who expect him to know things and he has no clue. Mm-hmm. And on the other hand, if I bring the farm dog in the house and all he wants is territory and work and sheep to herd and control and manage and maybe hang out and eat with them, well, and your kids don't get it and not following through with your instructions, that dog will end up correcting those children for doing things they're supposed not to do because he learned that things have to happen. And if a sheep goes in beyond the line, he has to bring the sheep back. He's not a herding dog, but he cannot go away from his territory because that will be a problem in his job. And on the other hand, if another cat comes in his property that he sees as a predator, he's going to take that cat down and you have to explain yourself to the neighbor.
Before I was with Rescue, around here locally, the farmers would, when the dog was getting ready to retire, they would call me, see if I had a spot. And we've done that since, 1999, 2000, right in that area. Quite a few dogs I've probably brought in and rehabbed, I'm going to say 30 to 40 of them. And let me tell you, typically they've never been into a home. Okay. That's not their job. Their job is out in the field. And so some of the things that you don't think about that we have every day, they don't know how to deal with it. Like say a television set. ceiling fan. And there's a lot of adjustment that you have to do. Now, on the other side of that same coin, we also have the ones that come in and they'll do their sniffing around. I had my girl, Lily, I kept her. All right. She was one I kept. I got her at 9 years old. And she kept eyeballing that couch. But she had to go sniff and she always come back, look at that couch. And finally she put a paw on it. And I said, it's okay, go ahead. And she had no idea what I said because nobody taught her that. Okay. Well, she got up on that couch and there she was for 2 days. She found something that was better. She thinks that, wow, this is cool. Now this is better than what I had for now. But when she was working, that's not the case. All right. So, by the way, she lived until almost 18 years old on that couch almost. All right. So anyway, and we lost Roman's video, but he'll be back.
Lost Roman.
Yeah, we lost Roman. So we'll go this way. Now, Sophie had failed as a guardian and was abandoned and down in Tennessee. And that's not unusual for down there. Okay. Anywhere, really. Utah is bad for this. They move their flocks and, well, it appears if they can't catch them, they leave them. All right. And there's no laws to protect them from that. Ashley's fixing to chime in. I'm really sure because I just brought up a sore point. Now, so yes, and everything, you're right, but every dog is different. Okay. And we don't assign the job. Okay. When you have multiple peers out in the field, we're not the ones that assign the jobs. They do. Okay. And, they don't, they work in teams. I had a rare opportunity. I was able to work remotely with somebody out in France in the Pyrenees Mountains. And we didn't have a language barrier. We had a time zone barrier. But anyway, and I learned a lot from him in a lot of areas. So one of the things is, well, they spay and neuter because there's less distraction. That's what they feel. And everybody is allowed to have their opinions. And he was 9th generation farmer with the Guardian breeds. I don't know if they were all peers, but Guardian breeds. So now he had 48 to 50 dogs in different fields. He calls them fields. He took me on a video tour of one of them. That was a mountain, not a field, but that's where they hail from. Okay. And, after I got over being starstruck, natural, but, in reason I was even involved 9 generations ago, he told me when you go to France, and maybe Roman can say yes or no that what he's seen, you're not going to see an odd number of dogs out in the fields. They're even numbers. Now, when they breed amongst themselves for the other farmers, and his neighbor is like 65 miles away. And if there's an odd number in the old days, that odd number had to die. Well, culture is changing and that is changing. And typically they're not very good at, teaching a dog to not eat their furniture and stuff. Okay. And that's where I lend a hand periodically, but it's different. And there are different dogs over there. These dogs, they have a different attitude because, us over here, maybe we didn't understand what they were supposed to do. Or maybe those breeders back in the 60s actually did something well when they tried to domesticate them through breeding. Okay. But when you do that, something's got to give. Well, now over there, they have 10 puppies, there's a good possibility they got 10 working dogs in the end. Over here, you might get 1 or 2 out of the breed. All right.
Yeah, we have to see that. We have to see that the genetic factors that makes the dog character, it's just 25%. The rest is environmental factors. And the dogs there are 100% environmentally directed to do their job correctly. So no matter what the dog does, he's there doing the right thing. Even if he doesn't do the right thing, others will do it. He likes it or not, he's going to see it happening.
And you lived this, didn't you? You were in that. You may not have been directly in France in the Pyrenees Mountains, but
No, in
you
Greece,
had
I
guardians.
worked with the original guardians. So the dogs
Yes,
that I worked with was basically the Molosser breeds, the Greek sheepdog, which basically is the idea of Mastiff being produced in the whole world. Alexander the Great had those herding dogs or sheepdogs, and each officer who had a city will have one of those dogs to guard and protect him and his field. And they have been taught to retrieve, meaning is if you got wounded in the field, that dog will drag you back into safe space, because over these hundreds of thousands of people laying on the floor, he would know who you are and drag you back again to safety. And he
Right.
will stay with you as long as you're alive if you couldn't do that.
Yeah. The guardian breeds in this country, in my opinion, they're probably one of the most misunderstood breeds, and it doesn't matter which one.
If you start from
Misunderstood.
veterinarians to behaviorists to nutritionists.
That's right.
Yeah.
And but in my opinion, the Great Pyrenees, for what I do, if you want to work with one, when you make your connection, it's the easiest dog in the world to work with. All right.
Yeah.
Well, at least in Ohio. Okay. When you make your connection, that's the key to this. And then they will receive your direction better, providing your direction is within reason. Okay.
Mhm.
Wow. So
we have to see why those dogs live in those numbers, because dogs team up in synergistic couples.
teamwork.
And so teamwork is very high. So if one dog is being left behind and the number is not right, then there's confusion about it. And this is where the person then steps in, and these are covering the gaps. But if the dogs are alone, they have to team up in teams.
Yep. And also, too, that farmer over there told me once, and I don't know how he knows this because I didn't question that part. He said that sometimes when the peer is barking at a predator, sometimes it's not just to ward the predator off, it's also calling for help from another one of his working dogs, calling for help.
And this is why us yelling at the Pyrenees who's barking at the window is not helping anything until you go there and be supportive and emotionally intelligent, agree with the problem. Indeed, there's an issue going on, but I think we should wait for later. How about we go back inside and kind of chill out a little bit? We're going to take care of that tomorrow.
Partnering with your dog.
We need to partner with the dog. And yelling and shock collars and shake cans and spray bottles is not the way to work. It's short-term working, not long-term.
Right. Because we don't want them to fear the repercussions of if they don't do something for their human. We want them to do something for their human because they respect us. Okay. And they do. Okay. Wow. Look what time it is, Roman. Sheesh. Somebody got to tell me to shut up sometime.
It's time.
Okay.
Steve, we didn't do the giveaway.
Yes, we are right now.
Yeah.
We're going to give them one more chance. If you put hashtag GPRM into your comments, it will enter you into the drawing, and you have a chance to win a martingale collar, red or black. And you'll have to send me your size because it's, it's got a good leeway. 1 inch thick martingale collar. Don't forget, the martingale is not here to train your dog. Okay. There is no collar that's going to train your dog.
I wanted to add something while people typing their GPRM. I want to do a video about leash training, but
you did one. You did a whole class.
Pyrenees. So I would need a couple of volunteers with Pyrenees who are not good on leash to volunteer and go through a training process so I can capture that, and then we can make a video, because different dogs do different things in different ways. So we're going to capture all these different ways and go through the same process and see how easy it is to train a Pyrenees without killing your wallet and without hurting your dog.
Wow. Ain't this something? Now listen to this. He's asking for help. So What happens if you get takers on this?
Mhm.
What's it cost
Okay.
them? Is this for free for them?
Yes. Sorry,
Awesome.
Mhm.
but
So,
it's not for free
where do
because
you
you have
want
to
them?
work for it. So there's
Right.
certain
How do we?
restrictions. You have to be able to make a video. You need to be able to have a tripod and video record what you're doing. And on the other hand, you have to certain conditions. Okay, you cannot have a prong collar on. You cannot choke your dog. You cannot do secretly things and behind my back without me knowing it. It's really an educational because we need to stop the animal abuse because of Pyrenees struggling to get things done the way people want them to do.
How do you want them to contact you?
I would
Email?
say they can reach out to my email. Thanks for doing that. Roman@holisticdogtraining.org without the slash. And that will be helpful for me kind of to get in a conversation, maybe have a third person, a second person video record you walking the dog so we see the situation, what it is. That will have two or three categories: the dogs who are just pulling on the leash, otherwise they're fine; dogs who are extremely pulling on the leash, and other dogs who are extremely aggressive pulling on the leash, like I gotta kill ya kind of thing, right? So yeah, I would pick, I think, 2 for each categories that are going to go through the process. So don't think just because, he will be busy with so many dogs. You
No.
may be the perfect person and perfect dog for that. It's not too much work to do. It's maybe like 2 or 3 weeks work. And then you have a better behaved dog and you have technical support from my side. But important is we have this video footage for other people to get help.
And I use Romans. Anybody that's worked with me knows that I like using Romans videos because if I ask them to say trying to tell them how to do something, chances are pretty good either myself or Roman have done that in person and it's been caught on video. And then this way we can show you how we do it. Okay, you get a visual. So, and that's Roman's Holistic Dog Training Facebook page. Once again, you can leave. I think the browser puts the // in it, and that's how it got it.
And if you like what you heard today, how about you go there on our Facebook page and actually like it and leave a review? Maybe I'm just saying, maybe.
What everybody just heard was we just said, "Look at me," and a Kuvaz and a Great Pyrenees just came back to us, and we didn't do anything. We didn't squirt them. I said, "Look at me." Because every time
doing online sessions, because I have a dog that I'm working with, and every time I explain to them what to do, I have a dog in my face. Like, I want to do that too.
That's right. All right. So here we go. We have a drawing to do. Okay. And we have some entries. Somehow I got to get old StreamYard and we have to come up with a group, something to fix this group thing. Okay. With not getting, because some folks just aren't understanding. Okay. So let me do a screen share so everybody can see the drawing happen. And don't forget, hashtag GPRM. You got here just a couple seconds. And just give me a quick second here to show everything. Whoops, where to go? Actually, I'll answer the message after the show, okay? There we go. All right. As you can see, we have 6 entrants. All right. Now, there was some entrants that went in there, but if we can't see who you are, my drawing tool can't see who you are. Okay. So, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Maureen. All right. Congratulations, Maureen. Wow. And that is nice. Nice work, Maureen. Maureen has a dog named Duke that Roman and I have both worked with. And he was from an extreme abuse case, physical and mental. All right. And you think about that one for a second. Physical abuse, eventually, the peer is going to stand his ground. Mental abuse, he really can't. All right. He can he can bite his way out, but for the last 4,000 years, they've been known not to do that to humans. Okay, as a rule. So, wowzer. So, and she has this dog knowing that this is going to be a problem, and she reached out to me and said, "Will you help me? Well, what's your opinion?" I didn't know her, and I said, "Well, with this dog's history, my opinion is don't take that dog." Well, just like a typical woman, right, Regan? She come back with the dog anyway, so I'm on board. I'm not going to abandon her. Well, yeah, he was a little bit of a handful. We knew that it was going to be a bumpy ride. We knew it, and we knew when because we've seen this before. Roman and I both. We experience this all the time with folks, and always
And
remember
his abuse was from professionals. So he
that
was
is correct.
professionally abused.
His abuse was from professionals, okay? Because, well, he didn't know the breed. He just didn't know the breed. And I'm going to tell you right now that if you ever listen to me or if you ever listen to Roman, you're not going to hear us slam anybody. You won't hear us say you're an idiot, you're doing this wrong. What right do we have to tell him he's wrong when it's working for him? We try to educate him, show him there's another way. Okay. And that's what Roman did. And he does it all the time. I see it. And you know what? Sometimes they say, wow, can you talk to me more about that? Or sometimes they will say, too bad, I've got to close mine, and that's how it's going to be. But it's still their choice. If we don't try to educate, they're going to stay there. All right. They're going to continue to do it the same way. So, Maureen, congratulations. You're going to have to email me your address or message me your address, and I'll get that. And you got to pick which pair you want it on, or the Maremma, and get a size, and we will get one sent up to you. And thank you. Congratulations. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the show. And next week we will come up with, by the way, we're open for suggestions. If there's a talking point that you want us to talk about, Roman or Regan, yeah, we can get her back on here again. She is working hard on her audio, okay? And she's done very well. And yeah, but and there's more that can always be done. Mine probably too. She can't hear herself. All right. We have to tell him. Roman can't hear himself. We have to tell him. Okay. So anyway,
Right.
Wow, what a show. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Next. Oh, you have something, Regan?
Nope.
All right. So here we go. By the way, everybody, enjoy your holiday season. It's snowing around the country, as you can see. It's snowing in Oregon, Kansas, and Ohio, it looks like. I hope you like my GIF. I keep calling it a GIF. Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Bye, everybody.